Okay, do you know how excited I am to be here and to see all these beautiful faces? So welcome to Activate 2022. We're just going to have a great morning. And like I said, it's been a long time since we've all been able to meet in person. We used to have these live events every few months, and the pandemic put a little splinter in a few things, didn't it? Did everybody agree? When everybody came in, did you get a raffle ticket? Okay, hold on to that. Just so you know, my sister is lucky. So we hope that she doesn't get all the prizes. In fact, let's just have a deal. You can only have one prize. Oh, who took Suzanne's ticket? Good idea. One prize. So let me just tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Debbie Zito, and my husband and I, Mike, where's Mike? Mike and I have lived in the Golden Isles for 32 years, right? We've been married for 32 years. We love this area. We grew up in Ocala, Florida, and it was a big move, right, to move away from home. But I'm thinking all of our family loves to come visit. In fact, we've got Mama Zito and her sisters. We've all been well fed all week long. Lots of love and lots of good food. So I've been part of LifeVantage for the past 6 years, and I am a PA. I'm a pediatric and adolescent PA. And I fell in love with the products and the company. And I thought, I have just joined the most amazing group of people. And yes, and I have incredible friends. So we're excited to share the opportunity and the products with you today. So feel free to, we've got samples in the back, and we'll answer some questions at the end, but we'll go ahead and get started with the program, okay? So I'd love to, if you're visiting today and able to stay this afternoon and want to join us in the beautiful Golden Isles, after about 1 o'clock, we're going to meet. If you want to take a screenshot of Marshside Grill, we're going to meet there for lunch. They don't take reservations, but we're going to try to gather there as best as possible. And then this evening, sun sets a little bit earlier. It's 5:30. So maybe about 4:30, we'll head down to our historic lighthouse on St. Simon's Island. It's beautiful. So those of you that have traveled far, we're so thankful that you're here. I recognize a lot of these faces. I'm looking forward to meeting those that I haven't met. So let's go ahead, and I'd love to introduce our first guest speaker today. We have a very special guest speaker. This is one of my favorite people in the whole world, one of my best friends, Dr. Neil Goodman. We fondly call him Dr. G. Dr. G, we've had the incredible privilege of practicing together for over 20 years, right, Dr. Goodman? Over 20 years, long time. And like I said, we take care of babies and children, and it's truly an honor. So Dr. Goodman has actually been practicing medicine for over 37 years. Right. Amazing, right? He is a former major in the U.S. Army. He served 14 years of service. I'd love to have veterans in this room. Yeah, any of veterans in the room? Yes, please stand up. But thank you so much for your service. Yeah. So Dr. Goodman is a pediatric integrative medicine specialist, and he's an international speaker. Probably many of you have watched him speak. He's just brilliant. He's been a featured guest on the Christian Television Network, and you're going to be seeing him a lot on there in the upcoming months. He's also an expert educator on the activation of genetic signaling. You're going to hear activation a lot today. Let me tell you, being in medicine over 30 years, this word is one of my favorite words. So we're going to teach you a little bit about that today. And I promise you're going to leave this meeting, whether you've been in LifeVantage or not, you're going to be enlightened and learn something new today. He's the member of the prestigious LifeVantage Advisory Board. So we have the honor of hearing from our amazing, incredibly intelligent Dr. Neil Goodman today. He has the beautiful knack, you all, of taking very complicated science and simplifying it and making it fun. Whoever thought science could be so much fun? Yeah. Right? That's it. We have fun science in LifeVantage, and we're making an impact around the globe. So, Dr. Neil Goodman, you join us today.
right, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just really pleased we finally get all of us together in person. LifeVantage company is really based on social relationships and at its heart. And it's really talking about helping people to get better, to get healthier. And for those of you who are in the audience, whether you're a doctor or not, it does not matter, because you have the ability to influence so many people's lives. That's the thing that keeps bringing me back to LifeVantage, is the fact that you can talk to somebody and you know knowledge or learn knowledge here, and that you can share that with someone that could benefit. And you don't have to be an expert. And we're going to give you that knowledge, something to take back and something to share. And that's really the purpose of it. And we're glad that you're able to come and listen to this. As Debbie said, I'm in the LifeVantage Science Advisory Board. That means I have a hand in some of the products that are coming out from LifeVantage, those things that are in research and those things are being developed. And they asked our Science Advisory Board, which is really an esteemed group of about, I'd say, 8 to 10 physicians like me, practitioners. Everything from nutritional experts, naturopaths, chiropractors, medical doctors that have their input, and then they look to us for advice as to what the public needs, because we're the ones who are out in the field seeing people, and we know what people, whether it be illness or viral threats or all these different things, there are needs that people have, and that's really what drives the impact of the company and what drives us to make things better. So you're going to hear this word a lot. As Debbie said, we are the activation company. And we have a whole, we can talk about products all day long, and we churn out a lot of products. But the idea there is that there's something for everyone. If it's that you're looking for health, that's there. If it's looking for improved digestive function, that's there. If you want to make your pet better, that's there. It's all based on science, though. And so we're a scientific company. Everything is done through research. And if it's not researched, we don't have anything to do with it. We are innovators. And so that's why we're the activation company. And that's why I got behind it, because I wasn't going to put my 37-year pediatric career behind a company that was a falsehood. Okay, I needed to see the science. I needed to dig down in the science and realize that it was real, that this was tried and tested, that there were research studies being done on it, and it wasn't being done internally by the company. These were things outside the company, as you'll see. So we're going to feature it specifically. We're going to talk. We don't have time to talk about all these products, but we're going to talk about two. The two that are my favorite will give you a sense of what it is that we do. The first one is Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. Now, it's going to sound like I'm talking about products, but I want you to take in the bigger picture of what we're doing. This is just the mechanism by which I'm making this information known to you. And then you read between the lines as to how you think this could apply to someone else that you know. All right, so Protandim NRF2 Synergizer and the new activated liquid collagen. Okay, and lots of people are into collagen these days, right? But there are some really, really unique things about these products. So we're going to talk about that. Now let's talk about activation versus supplementation. Okay. All right. So first concept is that we want to make our chemicals. We want to make what we need for our body. We don't want to take them. Okay. If you take calcium, you're taking calcium to support your calcium level. We want the body to make these things. Okay. So that's the difference between activation and supplementation. We are giving, through the use of food products and ingredients that are super pure, code for making your cells to produce these. These are a signaling system that we're taking advantage of. That's so unique in the marketplace. Nobody does this. We are the pioneers in this. We created this science over 15 years ago, and we are nutrigenomically, that's the key word, nutrigenomically activating. Nutri and genomic meaning genetic code. We are talking to the genetic code by using food and food substances to turn on our systems to make these internal supplements. And that is by definition biohacking. When you make yourself better, be better than you are using technology, that's biohacking. That's where I took the name Biohacker USA, because I was a patriot though, right? All right, so I want to show you just a quick demonstration here. Okay, so this is an example, very simple, and I'm an audiovisual kind of guy. I like to touch things and see things, right? So, if we supplement, this is me supplementing. Okay. There, you feel supplemented? Okay, we don't want to supplement, we want to activate. We want to turn that system on. We want to flip the switch to turn that on and be empowered. Okay, that is the difference. So we want to flip the switch so we can feel better and we can do more stuff. All right. We don't want to be dragging. We're hijacked every single day. Okay, we're hijacked by the food and water that we drink and eat. We're hijacked by personal stress. Okay, I mean, the world's stressful, right? Environmental threats, 5G, EMF radiation, pollution, sun damage, UV light, and then technology too, right? Just looking at a blue screen on a TV has negative effects on your eyes and on your system, that constant exposure. Even carrying the phone in your pocket or putting it next to your head. Did you really know, you can answer this question, that we have in the Industrial Revolution created over 850,000 different new chemicals. That's 850 chemicals a year for 100 years. That's a lot of exposure. So we don't want to be hijacked by that. So you can do your best to eliminate this stuff in the 21st century, right? But ultimately, this causes our internal lights to dim. And these are just simple analogies I'm giving you. When does that dimming happen? It happens about around the age of 20, believe it or not. That's when the systems start to go in the opposite direction. So what does that feel like? How does that register with us? Well, your immunity might be affected, or you might have brain fog, very simple sort of concepts. Sluggishness, you might just have a hard time getting up in the morning and being motivated. Increased stress, anxiety, having bad mood, bad attitude for the day, just being fatigued all day, like this lady. Like, how am I going to get through the day? You know, I got this bad news and it just feels like crap. So we don't want that. And what are the mechanisms that cause that? Well, scientists have words for these things. Okay, we have medical diseases, okay, and we're not going to name any specific medical diseases, because to do so, you need to understand, in the realm of supplements and activation, the FDA strictly sort of guides that and says, you don't talk about a specific disease when you're talking about a supplement. You can talk about body systems. You can talk about what it does functionally for the body. It's up to you to make the connection of what that means. So I say fatigue, but I don't give it another name. You'll notice I use those kind of words. So oxidative stress. What the heck is oxidative stress? How about the oxygen particles that are exposed to air? Did you guys see me take a bite of this apple before?
Yeah.
I have. So I took a bite of this apple and I just put it up there. That's been sitting there for about 15 minutes or so. Oxygen and free radicals, which are oxygen molecules, have an effect upon our body. Okay, and we are exposed to that all day long. It's part of this hijacking process. It's exaggerated if you're exposed to pollution and all these other bad things. But this also has mitochondrial decline, which means the mitochondria, which you know are the powerhouse of the cell, right? It's where all your energy comes from. If your mitochondria are injured, you're not going to have enough energy to do all those metabolic processes that your body's supposed to do. And in time, those degrade too. And then the last one is actual structural damage to the DNA and other things, okay? Now, so that's what the light dimming looks like when you feel it. Now, I put this slide here, don't read into a lot of stuff, but I want to just, the concept is this. You know, a CD disc or a DVD is a, by the way, this was Usher. But Tim, you got me that disc? I changed my opinion about it. All right, so you guys heard some music coming in here, okay? So here is a CD. Now, would we all agree that this CD has digital information on it?
Yes.
Right, okay, all right. And this is our body, and it has to read that information. Okay, now, the digital information is stored as ones and zeros, but that's not how our body stores information. Our information on our DNA is stored as letters, C, G, A, and T. Those are the base pairs in our DNA. Okay, that's our digital. We have the ability to store over billions of pieces of information about how we're formed, how we're supposed to function, how we're supposed to make proteins, how we're supposed to live. And that's all housed in our DNA. Okay, so this is our body. Now, what happens if you damage it? Sorry. This is our environment. This is the effect of our daily living on our DNA, on our bodies. Okay. You think, I don't know, will you play? Give it a shot. Come on. I'll try. If it's really good CD player, might put it on. I'll turn up the light.
On the
CD
player.
Oh, it's just no disc.
See?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It says no disc.
Wow.
I didn't expect that. Wow. Just a player and skip. It cannot read the DNA from the disc, which means that the information is still there, but it's not readable. What do you think happens when your DNA can't be read? Your body starts to not heal, and it can't repair itself. And it starts to also make mistakes, read between the lines. What does that mean? All right, so that's what I'm trying to give you an idea here. So science has already discovered that our genes have this incredible ability to heal ourselves, right? And so if you could leverage those genes, if you could tell the genes what to do, what to make, to help them do it better from the damage that was done to it over the years, would you flip that switch like the fan? Who would flip the switch? I mean, if it meant that you could repair your DNA, repair your body, repair the way that you function, because now you're operating at a better state than what you did before that, I think everybody would do that. So, as I said, oxidative stress damages the integrity of the cell. Now, our first mechanism to repair ourselves is something called an antioxidant. Okay, we take lots of antioxidants. You eat an apple, eat an orange, all those are good for you, right? But the truth of the matter is the antioxidant, which is the opposite, the antagonistic of this oxidative stress, this damaging thing that's happening, is just incomparable. I mean, it is literally like splashing drops on a fire. It's not going to put it out. You need to put it out with a fire hose. So you can eat as much as you want in terms of blueberries and all that stuff. It's just not enough to counter the oxidative stress. So what does that look like? Well, here's the apple I took a bite of, and it's already starting to turn brown. Why does it turn brown in a half an hour? That's oxidative stress. That's the effect of free radical oxygen molecules on flesh. I took a bite from the flesh. That was the damaging event. And now it's starting to degrade in front of our eyes. Well, our body's doing exactly the same thing. It just does it over a much longer time. And cumulatively, you start to see the results of that. Brain fog, your joints don't feel as good, you're not moving as well, you lose your flexibility, your skin elasticity goes down, you have more wrinkles. And so our production of antioxidants that we're born with degrades over time. Why does it degrade over time? Because we damage the disc that's supposed to make it. The code, it's not readable. So that starts to cause that antioxidant production to go down. Well, we discovered, LifeVantage discovered that the NRF2 pathway and this particular product has the ability to lower oxidative stress by 40% in everyone who's ever taken it in 30 days in peer-reviewed studies from multiple prestigious institutions. And I'll talk about that briefly. But the FDA lets me make that statement because it's true. And the FDA doesn't let you say anything. You can't talk about anything positive. And we can say that. That's really incredible. So what does that look like? Well, the apple starts to revert. You start to lose the oxidative stress and it begins to heal. Isn't that incredible? And we have that technology. We have 7 US patents and 6 international patents on this. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, the researchers at Washington State University were so amazed by this and the peer-reviewed stuff that they said that NRF2 was likely to be the most health-promoting approach in the near future and possibly the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. That's a big statement. Now, I wanted to show you what happens to this oxidative stress thing. So this is a graph showing age. Age is on the right, you're young on the left, and old on the right. So this is your antioxidant. This is your antioxidant. So you see it declines around age 20. It starts to dip, And look, it's fractional compared to what we started with. And now you add protandim NRF2 synergizer, and it maintains that oxidative stress at a level that's dealable. You can control it at the level of a 20-year-old. So you could be 60 and take this and reduce your oxidative stress to the level of a 20-year-old. Do you realize what impact that could have on your healing or your ability to keep this degradation from continuing on? It's a leg up on the situation. So here are the review articles. So look at this. I mean, we have all these articles, 31, Harvard University, Free Radical Biology and Medicine, Journal of Cellular Biochemistry, Colorado State University, American Aging Association, Virginia Commonwealth, National Institute of Aging, Ohio State University, OSU, OHIO. He's a Buckeye, I'm a Buckeye. Right? Right. So, I mean, so to have these articles in these peer-reviewed literatures at NIH, PubMed.gov to be published, and they have nothing to do with LifeVantage Company. What a blessing in our cap that they are able to tell us that this is the real deal. And that's why I'm so on board with this. And you can find these articles yourself. So, but we didn't stop with that. We also wanted to find out what could we do about those other things. Mitochondrial health, I mentioned to you, that's declining too. Those mitochondria are damaged. You can't do as much work as you previously could do. And what about the longevity gene? I'm not going to name the specific gene, but there are a number of them, and they are responsible for giving you a longer health span. So you don't have to live with illness as long. And now we have also discovered how to turn on the collagen gene. And that's what I'm so excited about. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to bore you with all the details. I just want you to take the big picture here. It's about activation of the cellular mechanisms that make these things. That's what we do. So again, we're the activation company. These are all the things that we do. So look at all these products are activation products. You're just going to see them circle around here. There's the collagen. We have a whole skin line. We have facial line. We have a fat burn product. We have a pet line, which my Great Dane, if those of you who follow Winter, has been activated since we got him. So, and it makes a big difference. All right, so we're going to change gears now. We're going to talk about activating collagen. Okay, same sort of concept. We're taking something and we are turning on a mechanism. Okay, so that's what makes it different than a traditional collagen. I'm not trying to be a salesman here for these things. I want you to understand the function and the science so that you can maybe consider to try this on yourself or try it on someone that you can help. The disclosures basically say that we purport not to cure any specific disease or diagnose anything. So we're not saying that. So what are the 5 points I want to make on this? One is that a lot of people will benefit more than you think. Why true science of liquid collagen? Why is it liquid? The science behind it, how to arm yourself, ARM, those letters mean something. And then I want to show you the results. And then you can judge yourself. Okay, first of all, why collagen? What's the big deal about collagen? Who here takes collagen? Who here takes non-LifeVantage collagen? Anyone? Who here takes LifeVantage collagen? Raise your hands again. Wow. Okay, I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why you're on that, and if you're using it and getting the benefits from it, why you need to spread the word, okay? First of all, it's the glue that holds us together. Collagen is the glue that holds us together. All the internals of the cell are based around a collagen network. It supports moisture, it holds moisture, it plumps up the cells, it provides the infrastructure that keeps the cells from deflating. It's a protein, okay? So it hydrates and is also responsible for the flexibility and elasticity of our joints and our bones. When that starts to degrade over time, you lose that. Doesn't that happen? As you get older, don't you start to feel stiffer and move less well? All right, so I mentioned it's a structural protein. It makes up 25 to 35% of the protein in our body. There are about 29 different types of collagen, primarily type 1, 2, and 3. Those are the main ones that we use, but different collagens live in different areas of our body. This liquid collagen provides 10 different collagens, not one, 10 different collagens. And it is derived from natural organic sources. And it is marine collagen, I'll tell you that. Now, in the studies that have been done on collagen, they're either marine, bovine, which means cow produced, or porcine, which means coming from pigs. Those are the sources. In studies, the ones that had the most efficacy were those that came from marine sources. So that's why we use marine collagen. Okay, again, all based on scientific research. Why do we do certain things certain ways? Because we want the best. Okay, so but you need to know that collagen is not just in your skin. Collagen's in your joints. It's in your muscular tissue. It's in your tendons. It's also in your nervous tissue. It provides the sheathing over your nerves and your brain, and it provides a cushion and an insulation for your nervous signals. So collagen is pretty darn important. Okay, now, why do we use hydrolyzed collagen? Okay, so if you've ever played around, and I have, with other collagens, most of them are in a powder. I've never seen a liquid collagen, although they might exist. If you stir them into something, they're gritty, they don't dissolve, you have to wait for it to go, or you're going to blend it into a smoothie. They just don't go in very well. Okay, so it's not very bioavailable. You can't really readily absorb it. Then most of them aren't hydrolyzed, but ours is hydrolyzed. What does that mean? Hydrolyzed means to break down. So this fish collagen is broken down into peptides, which basically means smaller units that are not a protein anymore. So they're the building blocks of a protein. As a result, they do not resemble fish anymore. So those of you who have a fish allergy, or if you get asked about fish sensitivity, it doesn't pertain because this is not identifiable as from the body as fish. So you're not going to have an allergic reaction with that. We can say that. Okay, it's a peptide. Because it's hydrolyzed, it's immediately absorbed from the digestive tract in the stomach. It does not undergo any further digestion. It doesn't pass through the rest of the tract and come out as something else. It's completely just goes right. So it's immediately available to the system, which means it can get to work. All right, so that's really important. Now, the thing is that I said collagen starts to decline like the oxidative stress starts to build up around age 20, 25. That's when your collagen levels start to decline, and then you start seeing some subtle signs. That's just another sign of oxidative stress. Okay, remember, it's controlled by a gene. So look at all the benefits that there are with collagen in other areas of the body that maybe you didn't consider, because most people are taking it because they want their skin to look nice. But let's just go down through it. Nail health, hair texture and strength. I've seen people's hair regrow, literally stronger, thicker. Cushioning our joints, knees, hip, ankles. I mean, who doesn't need that, right? We all need that. Cushioning your disc, that was a big problem for me because I had a disc injury. Back and strengthening bones, it provides the matrix beyond the calcium that's in the bone. It's all collagen. So it supports bone tissue. So you know some people who are of higher years that are taking calcium and vitamin D for their bones, but maybe are neglecting the fact that their collagen is also declining, they might benefit. Improve tissue repair, muscle recovery, eye health. Yes, you have collagen in your eye. It's in your vitreous. It's in your lens. So it's important for eye health. Liver function. There's collagen in your liver. Provides the structural matrix for all the cells that are in your liver, which is a pretty important organ. Heart and valve health. Who considered that? Your valves are made of a specific type of collagen. They're getting used and they're flapping thousands of times a day. They wear out. You've seen people get heart valve replacements. Doesn't make sense to support the collagen that's in the heart valve. Improve flexibility. Okay, I put in there to improve sleep quality. Why would that get better? Anybody? Why would it get better? Less pain, sure. Yeah, if you're not going to bed all achy and crampy because your legs hurt and you worked out that day, maybe you're going to sleep better and you're going to be better rested. And then secondary to that, you're going to have a better mood in the morning and you're not going to be as irritable, right? Because you're going to feel better. Who's irritable in the morning? Okay. Then brain and cognitive growth, because the fact I said that it protects your brain, it protects the cells in your brain, it protects your nervous transmission in all of your joints, and so you can exercise and do more things. And this is what we're talking about, being able to be better than what you started, okay? That's really what the message is here. So what are the measured benefits? This is what we know in testing. A 42% increase in collagen density. I don't have the slides to share with you, and it's much too detailed to get into it, but I can get that for you later. 22% reduction in crow's feet. This is, remember now, these are the superficial things, right? 10% reduction in skin roughness. 202% increase in blood catalase levels. Okay, let me tell you about catalase for a second. So catalase is one of 3 super antioxidants that the body has. There are 3. One is glutathione peroxidase. One is called superoxide dismutase, or SOD for short, and the other one's catalase. Those are the God-given antioxidants that are there to fight against oxidative stress. They're also the things that degrade due to interruption of the genetic code due to damage from all those stressors that we talked about, environmental factors, etc., living, aging, basically. Those 3 super antioxidants start to decline as oxidative stress takes its toll. So anything that we can do to build that oxidative stress fighting capability back up, that increases it by 202% for blood catalase specifically. And I'll mention some other ones. I want to just also digress for a minute. NRF2 that I talked about at first, NRF2 has the ability to increase catalase 54%, glutathione by 300%, and superoxide dismutase by, I believe, 30%. That's NRF2. So can you imagine the combination of the 2 of those together? There's no reason that you wouldn't want to do that, that you would want to use those together. Okay, we're going to have, by the way, a teaser. I can't give you more details. This is not out publicly yet, but there are going to be research articles coming out soon illustrating what the cooperative benefit of collagen taken with NRF2 and our other products. It's going to blow you away. It's going to blow you away. You're going to just jump up and down when you see what it does. Okay. So you'll be able to speak it in a, not everyone needs to hear the numbers. They just need to see the results. All right, most of the results you're going to see are here under 8 weeks of age, okay, or 8 weeks of using.
It works.
I went back in my age and back to 8 weeks. I'm a pediatrician. Okay. So what makes us superior and unique? Okay, first, the science. That's number 1. That's why I got it. I said I want to arm you with the science. So let's talk about that. Arm means activate, replenish, and maintain. Okay, activate. Remember activation. So how do we do that? We turn on the collagen 1 gene and we increase it by 43%. 43%. We turn on the gene that makes more collagen internally. This is beyond the supplementation part. Never mind that there's collagen in the bottle. There's other stuff in the bottle that turns on the gene that tells your body to make collagen. That's what makes us unique. So we're activating collagen, and the other genes are increased 200 to 500%. The other genes for collagen. We have other genes for collagen. SOD, remember that other one? SOD, that's one of the super antioxidants, was upregulated by 2,700%. That's 27 times. That's data that you might not know. Can you see the cooperation there? Taking collagen with NRF2, it's going to blow you away. Well, not, I just got like a chip. Okay, sorry. Okay, R stands for replenishment. That's what it does. All their products are collagen replenishment. Okay, the gritty stuff and so forth. This is our replenishment, but we fine-tuned it. It's liquid hydrolyzed protein, as I said. Okay, so now I gotta go back for a second. Let's skip something. So how did we activate it? We used a natural product. We used ruby red quinoa extract. Who would have thought that ruby red quinoa extract helps you to absorb collagen that we're putting in the bottle better and turn on the collagen gene? Is that crazy? All right, replenished. As I said, it gives you 5 grams of marine collagen peptides, which is not really fish anymore. They're sustainably and responsibly caught, and they provide 10 different types of collagen. That's also unique because we provide so many. Okay, and that's what improves your elasticity and skin. And then lastly, maintain. What does that mean? Okay, well, we put in, again, we're coming back with now plant extracts, blueberry powder, young pumpkin fruit. I never knew what a pumpkin fruit was. It's, I think, like a young orange. It's like in a citrus category, and acerola berry. So these have vitamin C and antioxidants and so forth. They promote normal skin elasticity that all those kind of things do. But they talk to the MMP9 gene, another genetic nutrigenomic connection here that reduces collagen destruction by 33%. So not only are we boosting our collagen and replenishing our collagen, but we're also telling the gene that destroys collagen to slow down. That allows us to hold on to our collagen a lot longer. So you get more benefit for the same quantity. Nobody else does. All right, so what else isn't in it? No added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free. I mean, it's clean, right? Okay, so I told you about the liquid already. It's chopped up. Let's look at the results. I just want you to see these. This really is where, this is what you call the money shot, right? Okay, so this is 15 days. Now they advertise it under 8 weeks, but this is just 15 days. Look at the crease line decreasing. This is in a man. And then look at this woman here, day 1, day 20. This is just 20 days. This is not 8 weeks. You can see the crow's feet diminished. This is how rapidly this is absorbed into the system. This is a pastor. This was day 1, day 30, day 60. Look, I mean, this is taken like at least 10, 15 years off of his face. Look at the creases at the top and look at down here. It's just incredible. You realize the confidence you get when you feel better and you look better and you're acting better. I mean, you know, from where I was 5, 6 years ago before I became activated, and those that are activated know what I'm talking about. Okay, those that aren't activated, you don't know what you don't know. So when you find out and you realize that you could never ever go back to the way that you were before, that's a decision point, and then you start professing that to everyone that you see. And that's why if you think that these LifeVantage people are a little bit crazy, we are, because we are excited. Okay, because we got this. Look at this lady's arm. That's 21 days. 21 days. All right, here's the face. Look at her face. It's, you know, all these bags under her eyes. So look how more plump, how much more hydration is in her face. This is just strictly using collagen. Okay, day 15. This is another woman. Some are more dramatic, some are less dramatic. You see the furrows in the forehead being less. The frown lines around the face being less. Her eyes, again, furrows in the eyes versus down here. Look at this lady's legs. They look like crepe paper, right? Aging, wrinkles. This is just part of getting, you know, aging. Sorry, but now she can be proud. I'm sorry. She can be proud to go out and wear shorts, you know, and gain confidence and wear the things that she wasn't able to wear. I mean, it makes a huge difference in the way that people feel. Remember, I told you it's about how you feel, how you act, psychologically too. Not to mention here, look at the furrows and the wrinkles in the face. And now look here, how smooth. This is 4 months. That's 4 months. Okay, 4 months. And here you have the neck area, and here you see decrease. Okay, so and then here's a gentleman. Look at the difference. This is 30 days. It's at least 10 years off of his face. It's incredible. So I think that the LifeVantage company really, really has leveraged the talking to genes and the supplementation with these benefits that people are seeing. So if people are seeing those things on the outside, my question to you is can you imagine what's happening on the inside? The cumulative and synergistic effect with the other things. So that's why we suggest that. Okay, so how do you begin? You activate wellness on the inside and outside, and like I said, most companies will focus just on supplementation. We're activating. Okay, start with Protandim NRF2. That's where you start. Get the internal part working. Turn off the SOD. Turn on the SOD and the catalase and glutathione. Ramp those up. Drop down your oxidative stress over the next 30 days and keep going because you'll reach a maximum of 70% over 4 months. That's what the literature suggests. You can reduce it by 70% overnight. That's not an FDA-approved statement, but the one that is approved is 40%. And then after you do that, go ahead and add the liquid collagen and see how you're doing. So again, we're the activation company. We got all these products that do similar things. They all activate. And I appreciate everyone's attention today. We're not going to field questions right now because we're going to go to our next segment. We have a guest panel, and I want to sort of gather those that are here of the guest panel, and I'm going to have Debbie introduce those.
Dr. Goodman, is that okay? Brilliant presentation. Now you see why we're so excited. You know, these products have changed lives. Company has changed lives. That's why I'm here. I was about to turn the big 50, and I thought if anybody's close to that age, you just think of a lot of things, I thought I'm falling apart. I lost my mojo. I wasn't sleeping well. I was irritable. I was anxious. I was all the things that Debbie was not. And I was so thankful for a friend that introduced me to these products. And my entire family now is activated, Mama Zito included. She got on a bike how long ago? We just had the best day. Riding the bike. So anyway, these products are changing lives. One of my favorite things is to hear some of the stories. And I know many of you in here have incredible testimonies of life-changing stories. I'd love to invite Kim Landers and Michael Huey up here. Just want to, actually, before I do that, I want to do a prize. Okay, yeah. Let's do a prize. Everybody look under your seat. Okay, there's something hiding underneath your seat.
Under your seat.
Under your seat, there are 3 things hiding in the room. Yeah, you may every.
Yeah, you gotta really see if everybody's flexible, right?
I can tell if you're activated now.
We can also see who's on college.
Yeah.
Hold your signs up. We've got a thumbs up. I think there's one more. Okay, do me a favor. Everybody get out your raffle tickets. Okay, who else? Thumbs up? Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Okay, there's one more. Someone will find it. Okay. Everybody take out your raffle tickets. Shake them up. Everybody did. Then pull one.
Okay, the first one is 6230682. Oh, there we go.
Right.
Congratulations. 0667.
Here's your set.
Okay, ticket 2119567.
No, it's not. Oh, I was 6'7". You had the red.
The other one was 6230667.
Uh-oh. 667. Say it again. Give somebody else. Give somebody else a chance. Call another number. Call another number.
Number on the bottom.
2119583. Okay. All right, let's start with Kim Landers. Kim and James Landers have the cutest family. Luke is here in the back. Where's Luke? He's out here. Oh, he's out playing here. So you have 4 beautiful children. You're not very busy, are you? It was fun. You had a date night last night. You don't. That doesn't happen very often. So Kim and I have known each other for the past 6 years or so, maybe a little bit longer. But I would love for you to share a little bit about how LifeVantage, how the business, how the products, how have they affected you and your family?
So our story is, it's unique because it's our story. And I am a mom of 4 and in the doctor's office often. well checks, sick visits, and all of that. And LifeVantage came into our life at a time where we were on a journey, a wellness journey and a health journey. I was walking it, but I was also walking it beside one of our children. And we'll play a little game here for just a second, and that is, what am I? So I'm an organ in your body, and I am celebrated and you get rewarded by getting money to go to different schools. I am, when I'm working at its absolute best, I help you get placed in certain societies or certain clubs. Anybody guessing what organ it might be? Yeah, your brain. So your brain is celebrated so much. We get money when it works great. We get scholarships for colleges. We get benefits. And so, bless you. One of the things that was really difficult and challenging growing up, I kind of struggled. I did struggle. And when one of my children started presenting some of the same, signs and symptoms and really was struggling, I recognized that this organ is understood and celebrated when it's performing at its best, but what happens when it's not? And mental health, brain health, that's our story. That's where we're rooted. And it's not an easy one because it's one that's not nobody fully understands. So LifeVantage came in, we were probably 2 years walking a new path, a new life. We had cleaned up our eating. We were really, doing and being very intentional with things. And I would go into the office to see Debbie and Dr. Goodman. And Debbie would say, mind you, I failed science in high school, so I'm not very science minded. And Debbie would say, you really got to look at these new products. You really got to look at the stuff. I really think it would be a good fit to where y'all are walking right now. And I just could not, honestly, I think it went on for 2 years. Oh, wow. She was telling me. And then one day, nothing really clicked. I just made a leap of faith. And I trusted the person who was treating my kids. And how many of you enjoyed Dr. Goodman's science? Yeah. Okay, so the person who failed science in high school started understanding science because I was taught science by the best of the best of the best. Yeah, and it started making sense. And so our journey really, we've been 5 years, almost 5 years, 5 years January. And it is walking a walk that is really and truly, every day is new. And it's not always easy, but it's so incredibly rewarding when you're able to walk beside people and feel better. One of the things that I love to do is go to PubMed. PubMed is where all of the scholarly articles are and the research and stuff. And I looked up oxidative stress and I would put in different things. And I would charge you with doing the exact same thing because there's so many articles when you put in, and I'm trying to stay within my lines of things, but when you put in oxidative stress, it's linked to just about every part of how our body and system operates. A couple months after joining with LifeVantage and starting to take the product, God wastes not one piece of our story, not one piece. And so our world really just started, it just kind of crumbled and it shattered. And I will tell you that the family that was given to us through our journey with LifeVantage, some days I had to borrow their faith. Some days I had to borrow their strength, but they were walking beside us, and helping us through some very, very difficult, and hard days. But, LifeVantage, yeah, no, LifeVantage is just been, not only has it been a gift, you know, like our emotional life and journey is far different than anything physical. Physical, you can say you went to the doctor and you needed 10 stitches, or you needed to get your broken bone fixed. Emotional is harder to gauge. And so it's a journey that it's hard to give people a picture because it's not as tangible. But, you know, LifeVantage gave us a place to belong. It allowed us to feel better. And it gave us a family. And on top of that, it gave us an income, an extra income, to help support our family.
So many incredible benefits. I mean, that's what we are. That's what we do at LifeVantage. We synergistically come together to be better, to help people live their best lives. So thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
Michael Huey, Michael and his beautiful wife, Lisa, come from Groveland Park, right? Is that the Orlando area? And we had, I'm trying to think where we met. We may have met at one of the first conventions, and Michael reached out to me and I thought, this guy's funny. and he's smart and he's got a heart of gold. And I just love to always hear his story with LifeVantage because Michael brings everything together. You know, the science, the business, all of it together. So we'd love for you just to share a little bit about your journey with LifeVantage.
Awesome. Wasn't Kim great? That's, I mean, they already having to hear like Kim. But before I share, I wanted to say that there's hundreds of Kims out there. And you guys have a gift to be able to give to them. And when I first got in LifeVantage as a man of God, a scripture came to me. It's Proverbs 3, verse 27. And it says, if you have any good thing in your hand, you have a responsibility to share with others. How many of you feel like that's LifeVantage, right? Like you do, you have a responsibility.
Driving forward.
Right. It doesn't say, and then if you read on after that, it doesn't say, hey, tell Neil to come back tomorrow and tell him tomorrow. Right? How many of you do that? Right? We do that, right? And so LifeVantage, I was at the top of, I was like Gabe, I was at the top of the fitness industry for over 20 years, multiple six-figure earner. And a lot of that came crashing down. I was still seeing 50 to 60 people a week, but I was burnt out. And then a lot of that started to change. And a pastor friend of mine, how many of you prayed for LifeVantage? Anybody pray for LifeVantage and it came to them? Okay, good. So we were taking 30 to 40 supplements a day and still not feeling great, right? Thought I had it figured out, like Debbie said. How many of us know we don't always have it figured out, right? And so a pastor friend of mine, shortly after a fast, came to us and said, hey, I want you to watch a video. And I was like, no, I'm not watching a video. And he said, if anybody will, this is what got me 6 months later. He said, if anybody will figure this out, you will. And I was like, okay, what's Daniel trying to sell me, right? Right. And so for 6 months, he called me every Friday and said, hey, are you ready to watch this video? And I was like, no, I didn't have it. How many people know that a lot of times we say, oh, I don't have any time, right? Right? I don't have any time. And I was seeing 60 plus people a week. And then he tricked me. Okay. He knew I liked sushi. Does anybody like sushi? Some people don't. Okay. So Lisa and I love movies. I'm a movie buff. Okay. I love movies. We go to the movies every Friday. Lisa was still working at the time. And she said, I left at 7 o'clock after being there since 5 a.m. that morning. And she goes, her phone was ringing. It was her. And she said, there's been a change of plans. And I was like, well, you just called me 15 minutes ago to tell me what we were doing. She said, we're meeting Daniel and Kathy for dinner. And I was like, I'm going to have to watch that video. Right. And so I literally, from me to my wife, when we got to this favorite sushi bar that I love, and I looked and Daniel had a iPad and some headphones set up. I was like, I guess I was right. I'm going to have to watch the video. Right. And what I want to teach you about this is guys, this is what you all should do. This was taught through, I said this to Gabe when I first met him. I was taught this business through duplication. He met me. He never sent me the video, even though I told him not to. He never sent it to me, right? And he did it the right way. And I watched the video, and halfway through the video, I kept thinking, wow, this could be a solution to what we've been praying about. And Lisa had one in here, and she was elbowing me, and I looked, and there was tears running down her eyes. And the video was over, and he said, I want you to talk to somebody. And I was like, I want you to talk to somebody. I said, you can't tell me. He says, no. He says, I couldn't tell you this or answer your questions if I tried. He said, but I have a friend of mine that taught me and answered my questions. His name's Brandon Cunningham. And Brandon was rushing around trying to go to a movie, believe it or not, right? And it was raining, and we got on the phone. Brandon was like a Pro 5 at the time. And he answered all of our questions. And halfway through, I handed the phone to my wife and said, talk to my wife. How many of us guys have ever done that? Here, talk to my wife, right? And I looked, and when we were done, she handed me back the phone, and this is what Brandon said. He said, you have a decision to make. He said, if this is truly what your wife just said and what you said, then you have a responsibility to get off the phone and sign. Never gave me an option. He said, did I answer all your questions? And I said,